horror stories. We've all probably had them. The one that stands out to me probably was turning up naked for a pitch.
Wow.
And I wasn't totally naked. This is like way back when we were running Nice Agency, and we were pitching to a very large production house for a very significant trilogy of movies. Had a brilliant idea, like it's when second screen applications were like really kind of in vogue.
So it was a really hard one.
At the time, well, yeah, it was. But let's not take it back to the conversation in the pub, though, eh? So the CMO turned around and said, "Yeah, like, look, okay, I'll take the call, I'll take the pitch, I'll take your ideas because it was like proactive, and it's this day, this time, take it or leave it." I was like, can't miss out. We'd already invested so much in prototypes and design and strategy and all this kind of stuff, but I was on holiday, planned to be on holiday at my dad's in Florida, and I was like, I'll take it, but can we do it as a call rather than a face-to-face? She was like, yes, it's fine. I was like, great. And got up early, had a run, went back, had a swim, and then thought, oh God, bloody hell, shit, I'm gonna be late. So literally just threw on a towel, and this is like a long time ago, right? This is like pre-video conferencing-ish. Opened my laptop for the Skype call, and it was already ringing, so I just pressed yes, but it videoed in, and I was like a reverse newsreader, so I was naked on the top but dressed on the bottom, and it was like a panel like 10 senior female marketeers. I didn't win the pitch.
Did they comment or did they pretend?
Yeah,
well, what I did was very quickly, I'm really sorry, my Wi-Fi is terrible, so I shut the laptop to kill the call, then sent her a message going, can we just do audio? But I was fucked by then.
Did you have any embarrassing tattoos that might have been a concern?
Well, no, I was pre-tattoo
like
at that
on your
point.
arm or
I was pre-tattoo.
Yeah, on your arm.
And I just had like probably like
Maybe
saggy
just
moves,
below the
you know,
arm.
like just, it was hardly like Tom
Pre-McGarvey.
Hardy, right? It was just a poor representation.
But you just been running and swimming. What were you doing?
Why were you naked?
Because I just came out the pool. But I didn't realise this, like, I don't know, what year was it? Like 2011? Like,
Yeah,
this was
when
not the
it's
era
not
of video
the-
calls.
No, it is fair enough.
And I still regret that because we had such a good concept.
How's your OnlyFans account doing?
Well, I've had to move to OnlyFeet, unfortunately, because the older I get, the worse it gets. There we go. Yeah,
I
so
did
look,
take a pitch news call naked,
What?
and when you were telling like the reveal of the
Go
pitch
downhill,
outcome,
isn't it?
and I'm really glad because it was in COVID, which is why I was at home and therefore didn't have any clothes on. And I got this call and I just took it, but I'm really glad it wasn't a video call, but it was to get the news that, and it was back to that point around, actually it was a Friday and she'd rung me out of the blue, which typically I wouldn't answer, but I knew it was her, so I answered the call and I hadn't got dressed, and she was ringing to say, we can't wait till Monday to tell you you've won the pitch, and it was huge. It was a game changer for us. It was a US-based pitch. It was massive, and because I was so overwhelmed and excited, I ended up telling her, "This is brilliant, and I'm naked." and so
and you got more work.
Did you?
and she was like, that's so strange that you're telling me this, but that's great. And so she then told everybody, and actually, like to Adam's point, in a way, it made us memorable from that point on because I was
You didn't need
the
to
naked,
then,
the naked CEO.
You won the pitch. You'd won the pitch, though. You didn't
And I
need
was
to be
like, but
memorable at the call.
I have no poker face either, so I was just telling her all these things I was feeling, including the fact I was like hot. I was like, oh God, I've got so hot and exciting. This is great, but it doesn't matter because I'm naked.
I'm naked.
So I'm like, oh God.
So my horror story
Oh my God.
is linked to a time, I think, when there was theatre in pitches, yeah, and you could go and create a bit of added value and a bit of a creative spark. And we were working with one of the big food brands, let's say in the country, and it was on a particular brand. It was a creamy rice pudding, and we travelled out, and the strategy
God.
was around the integration of fruit to the offering, to the serve, right? So to increase consumption moments, to integrate healthy eating, I guess a bit like the old Weetabix strategy, right? That you probably saw the TV ads for. So the team went into the room and were getting set up. And the art director, the creative execution was like save our fruit, basically. And the art director went to the toilet and he got changed into a banana costume. And he had a placard. And he walked out of the toilet through this client's kitchen and offices chanting this slogan, save our bananas. Little did we know that the next door room, they were kicking off redundancy consultations at the same time. And he got escorted out of the building. And I cannot tell you, the client was deadpan and it went down like a tub of fucking cold rice pudding. And we didn't win the pitch, but
that's brilliant.
Memorable,
right? Memorable. But we met up, some old agency people met up a few weeks ago for some beers around Fitzrovia, and we were retelling this story, and genuinely there were tears running down our faces.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah.
We lost the pitch, but how were we to know?
Also, being Banana Man is saying,
Like,
I was
come
dressed up as a
on.
banana, got escorted.
Like,
off the
come
building
on,
on
what a
pitch.
great
It's
story.
genius.
Isn't it
Quite
good?
interesting
Like-
if you're doing rounds of redundancies to have an agency coming into pitch.
pitching.
And
Yeah,
the
that's
banana
kind of not your
bit,
problem.
yeah.
or
Not
fault.
the best
No.
timing, is it?
Yeah.
Sorry about you not losing your jobs. We're just going to have a nice chat over here about our
We're
next
going to pay for
marketing
this,
campaign.
this banana campaign out of the money that would have paid your wages.
They got so many complaints by colleagues. It was unreal, but memorable, right? That was one of the worst.
My weird one for
Worst.
memorability was, and I've never got to the bottom of this, whether it is because there was FOMO attached to this move or whether it was a pure accident, but we'd kind of moved into a different area of the agency, and we were casting teams for the pitch as opposed to just kind of throwing the senior people in who didn't know what. We had a team who were better than us, so we put the right people in, and one of my business partners wasn't included in that, and I think it bruised his ego a little bit. And so, for whatever reason, accidental or not, we were, 75% of the way through the pitch. And the cupboard door opened, and my business partner appeared from the cupboard door. He claims to this day
You're
he
kidding
was
me.
in the boardroom taking a call, and we walked in, and then he panicked and he went into the cupboard.
What?
But I think it was more that he was spying on us.
What?
Either way,
Was the door open?
Hang
on,
to be
It-
clear,
it was a
the
tiny
actual
cupboard.
pitch.
the actual pitch, but he needed a wee, so he could no longer stay in this cupboard any longer.
You are, hang on. What did the clients do?
Well, he just walked out and he said, "Morning, everyone. Really great to meet you all.
Stole it.
Enjoy," and just walked out.
No.
And we carried on because we didn't really know what had gone on, and we were trying to be super professional because we were punching at this particular pitch.
You know what he needed? Banana Man
It-
costume.
well, that's
true.
what I was
And a
thinking when you were
placard.
telling your story. Like, if he thought about it, which maybe he had, he would have been slightly more amusing. But he just
Exactly.
literally styled it out and walked out and said, "Keep up the good work," or something really naff like that, and disappeared
win?
out the window. No.
No,
No.
Tell me that. There's a
No.
theme here,
No,
right?
we didn't.
Banana costumes and men hiding in
Cupboards. And this cupboard wasn't really like, it's not a walk-in wardrobe type cupboard. It literally had the fridge,
stationery cupboard,
a stationary, yeah. It had a little light fridge, and he was having.
Did it
he
have
was-
little like shutters? Which you, like,
Well, he was kind of sat. I think he must have like curled himself up on the fridge. But it was a 2-hour probably pitch meeting. It was way over an hour that he'd been
Sorry,
sat in
that's
there,
incredible.
and
What the fuck?
and he just walked out and.
Nice.
And everybody pretended it hadn't happened. And I think I'm maybe at the end of the pitch almost trying to suggest that wasn't a cupboard, it was maybe one of the many exits to this
right.
room.
Yeah.
So it didn't look quite as
Door
weird.
through to his office.
It was probably quite obvious. That
It was really
a cupboard,
obviously
a stationary
a
cupboard.
stationary cupboard. And I remember saying something along the lines of, "Oh, that's our CEO." We'll carry on, and thinking like, "God." So no,
That's
we didn't.
incredible.
We
I
didn't.
love that.
We
I
didn't
love
win.
that.
Right, okay, God. Well, there's a few, but I'm going to go quickly. One very serious charity pitch. Emotional. We've done our big film, and the customer journey's up on the wall. Fell off the wall on top of the client's heads. That was quite bad. We won that, though. That was good. The other one where the CEO was wearing Spanx, but the ones that come down to your knee, like above your knee, and her dress had ridden up,
client?
and she was this is the CEO of the agency, and her Spanx was showing. There was that one. The guy stood up to present and farted. That was a good one,
Oh, mate.
That's great.
which is a good one.
That
look,
can
I
happen,
mean,
right?
Of course it can. For
That's
nervous.
cool.
Every 6 years, people got to take a sabbatical, and I decided to do writing comedy for radio. And Central St Martin's, they cancelled the course. Nobody else wanted to do it. and the only course that had a space was stand-up comedy. I went and did stand-up comedy, and I did that course, which was fucking terrifying, and did about 10 gigs in Soho, which were terrible, but made it a training thing.
Yeah.
So brought it back to the agency. We would do 15 people, and we do it every 6 months. Did about 6 of them, and then you'd find those gems, those young people who you thought were quiet or whatever, and you'd hear them on stage in front of their teammates being funny, and you put them in a pitch.
Yeah, great.
And being able to laugh yourself out of a situation and tap dance out of it was a real skill. But fuck me, it was terrifying because it was terrifying.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's an analogy, like for agency life, tap dancing yourself out.
Yeah.
I have literally tap danced well in a pitch. That was for a ski wear brand, and the guy was really horrible. And we presented this stuff, and he said, "So what do you want me to do? Tap dance?" And I literally tap danced, and we won it. I don't care. And if you think you're going to lose it anyway, you might as well.
Yeah, you're
just...
right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Keep tap dancing. Here you go.
Yeah.
Smack my bitch up.